35 years of pride in Columbus, Ohio. Listen to True FM for all the Pride interviews. You're listening to True FM Online from the studios at 175 on the Park, and this evening is Monday, June the 13th. Pride Week is starting here. We're getting ready to go over to City Hall to do the mayor's kickoff event along with Councilman Shannon Hardin. And we're in the studios. I'm with Alan and Clayton and Michael and our engineer, Lorenzo. Okay, well, you guys got to keep me on the ball here. So we have another guest that has called in to talk about some of the things that we're going to be partnering with this week at Columbus Pride, and we want to welcome. And I'm going to let Michael do the introductions to this gentleman.
Welcome, Paul.
Richmond.
See, you know how these assistants are. They can't, they
it's on the other page.
It's Pride Week. Come on now.
So Paul, you reached out to Michael at the studio. You have come up with a design for the horrific tragedy that has happened to Orlando. The last 36 hours have been kind of trying on a lot of folks and a lot of people, and obviously you're trying to highlight this with the One Pulse logo that you have designed.
Yeah.
So tell us about why you're doing this, and maybe a little of your background. I'll let Clayton ask you some questions on the design side or the artsy fartsy side.
Artsy fartsy. Okay.
Yeah. So tell us, tell us what's the backing on this.
Okay. So yes, my background is in the arts, and I've done a lot of paintings and also a lot of illustration work throughout my career, and it's just always been the way for me to kind of process whatever is going on or the inexplicable things that happen that I can't make any sense of. And so, through creating something, I can kind of just process what's happening. And I think, like a lot of people, when I heard about this news yesterday, I just felt so horrible and so helpless. And I was kind of going into this downward spiral of reading these horrible memes and seeing everybody kind of attacking each other online, and so I had to kind of shut that off. And I really just needed to make something for myself to help me kind of cope with what I was hearing. I had been to Pulse nightclub. I had been in Orlando, and I had gone to that club before. So it's just and I think it's very easy for anybody in the LGBT community to imagine being in a club, because that's sort of our safe place to go and be ourselves, and we've never had to be afraid there. And it just really hit home reading about what had happened, and it was devastating. And so anyway, I just sat and started kind of sketching, and I didn't know at first that I was designing a shirt. I was just making a little drawing for myself. And then as I was kind of working it out, my husband's actually a nurse practitioner, so when I heard the name of the club, immediately the image that came to my mind was someone taking someone else's pulse, and that's just, to me, very symbolic of a connection between two people. You're listening or paying attention to what's going on in someone else's body. That's a very kind of caring act. And so that was the image that came into my head, and I started to sketch it out, and I thought this would be a really powerful image to wear on a shirt to Pride. And I was thinking for myself at first, like, I wonder where I could get this printed and make it into a shirt and go to Pride with it. And I remembered about my friend Zachary Traxler has this awesome company that makes all kinds of shirts, and they do a lot of great charity work called Traxler Tees. And so I just reached out to him, and I pitched the idea and said, would you be interested in producing these shirts, and we could donate all of the money to the GoFundMe account that has been set up for the victims of the tragedy. And that way it would really, it would be empowering for the people who are wearing the shirts and making this statement, but then they also know that they're contributing something to the cause, because I think it's so important in a time like this for people in our community to come together, even though we may have different, points of view about how to solve the problem. Unity and solidarity is so important right now, and especially during this month of Pride too. So that's the long the long answer to your question. That was basically how this idea came about. And when I reached out to Zachary, he was all about it. Within a half hour of that initial, conversation, we were already kind of working back and forth to get the design, set up and formatted just right for the shirts and released them right away. And then I spent the day over there today watching them kind of get printed and stuff, and they look amazing. So it was really fast, and there's been a great response to it. So it really helped me to be able to do something. I guess I needed to just kind of take a creative approach to how to deal with this.
Well, Paul, one of the things I remember from you with last year, bringing you on with TrueFM, was the fact that you had your anti-bully program and your art was in major use there. So, how do I say, seeing you do this was not a complete surprise. It was like really, how do I say, complimenting, because you're an artist who keeps that in touch. And I thought that was absolutely cool that you're doing this.
Oh, yeah. So
I've always, thought that art can be more than just a pretty picture on the wall. It can really, help to heal and not just visual art. I mean, we see all forms of art come into play during times of crisis, and entertainers, musicians, and performers, and all the performers who are going to be taking part in our Pride celebration this weekend are going to play a part in helping our community to heal from this. So it's I think creative people in general have a really important role to play in these situations.
So we had talked to you before we went to do this recording, and TrueFM. Obviously, one of the goals of me acquiring this station 3 months ago was to basically give back to the community, to educate the community, to do that type of thing. And, we've agreed that we're going to have about 6 to 10 folks that are going to be walking with us with these Pulse One shirts on. We're also going to put the logo on the TrueFM van. And we're also going to put the folks, the victims of this horrid situation down in Orlando. We're going to put their faces and their names and ages on the van, just as a reminder that these people did matter. They still do matter, and we all need to kind of take a hard look. This was a tragic situation. It's becoming a political situation with some of the folks that are running for public office that don't seem to get it. And that's one of the things with this station is we're going to educate people of why, every person matters. So that's something that this station believes in wholeheartedly, and we're going to give back to the community and everything. So one of the other things, and another thing that we thought was very cool. So it was 2 weeks ago. It was Memorial Day. We got a call a couple days before that, and they told us that they wanted us to do this interview. This was a top secret thing that we couldn't tell anybody. And then all of a sudden they tell us what it was, and I'm kind of amazed because I didn't know how he was going to react to this. But Trey Pearson, we did an interview with him on Monday, on Memorial Day, about coming out and making the announcement and everything. We thought it was going to break on Wednesday, and all of a sudden 614 magazine found out that we had gotten an interview on Monday, and was probably worried that we were going to pull the trigger on Tuesday. They pushed everything out on Facebook. But I know that Trey has taken some pictures with Traxler and a few of the folks up there. Sounds like he's engaging and being the face of this, which is really kind of unique. If you really sit down and think about it, here's a young man that's just kind of told the world and told the ladies at the View. Well, we could be the ladies at the View. Hey, what do you think about that, Clayton? Ladies of the View.
Right.
And this is the gay view.
Yeah, this is the gay view.
The gay view will work.
So,
gay view will work.
So again,
At the round table.
For him to step up even more, most people would probably be gun shy and say, do I really want to put my name on this? How deep am I going to go with this? But he's that's awesome, and it seems that Trey is engaging, and that's a good community leader, someone that's a good, icon. Well, I shouldn't say icon, or a good
role model.
Role model. Yeah, there you go. So
absolutely
makes sense.
Well,
so,
you know what I think in terms of having a public coming out like he did. I mean, we see whenever somebody who is in the public eye goes through that, everybody kind of has their own opinions about how they did it, or should they have done it differently, and we can be very critical of people in our own community, but I think it when we're going through something this painful, all of that kind of gets pushed aside, and hopefully people kind of rise above, and we look to each other for help and support, and stop kind of tearing each other down over the little stuff.
Hey,
that's what matters.
The neat thing about it is Traxler also did a shirt for the mayor, for Andy Ginther, that was the Opportunity City shirt, and I think we should have probably done the Opportunity shirt and the Most Diverse City shirt, because this city embraces
quite a bit,
every different type of religion and culture, and you name it. So it's great to live in a city that you can walk out the door and not really feel offended. And obviously there's been some concerns over what had happened because of Pride, and we have a great police chief. We have an excellent sheriff's department. So I feel very comfortable with what we're going to be doing. So, we'll see you.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you on Friday and Saturday at Pride. We encourage everybody to show up. Do you guys have a booth at Pride to sell these, or how would people order these shirts?
So people can order them online ahead of time if they want. Just go to TraxlerTees.com, and they have them. There's a special section called Local Aid that has all of their kind of charitable shirts and things. We also are selling vinyl decal stickers of that graphic as well.
But how fast?
But there will be a booth at Pride too.
Okay, I was about to say, how fast is someone going to be able to order
there as well?
How fast is someone going to be able to order and receive? You know what I'm saying?
Clayton needs about 2,000.
So if you want to wear it to Pride, your best bet might be to get it there, just because I'm not sure with shipping time and everything if you would get it in time. And they say 5 to 7 days, so I would say maybe get it there if you want to do that.
Okay. Well, I ordered mine today, so when will I expect it, you think?
Monday next week. Yeah.
5
to 7 days.
You might want to buy one.
I might be able to put in a good word for you.
Please do.
Well, I don't know. It's Michael, so what can I say? But anyway,
are you having it sent here?
What's that?
Are you having it sent here?
No, to my house.
I was about to say, look for the 175 on the park, but can't do that now.
Yeah, now it's going to Etna, so the mailman probably don't even know where the hell that's at. So, well, anyway, hey, thanks for being on. This will be on our podcast, and we'll probably maybe even slide it into a couple shows and stuff if we need filler.
Awesome.
Be awesome. We'll see you this week, and Michael will reach out to you on the logistics of everything else. So you've been listening to True FM Online from 175 on the Park.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to True FM Online from 175 on the Park.